And we're live.
You guys were talking about all this serious stuff, and I was like, oh, goddamn, the Irish Supreme Court says that Subway bread doesn't qualify as bread.
I know, too much sugar. Too much sugar. It's not
Is that
bread.
all the bread or just the white bread, though?
No, it's all the bread. All the bread, they're like, go fuck yourself. It's too high sugar.
They have like 9-grain wheat bread there. How does that have too much sugar?
That has too much sugar, dude. And I am telling you this as a fact. I have not clicked on the article yet.
Dude, I read an article about that. I don't know why it matters that it's not bread, but it just like, I think all restaurant food is super bad for you, no matter where you go. They just give you so much butter, so much oil, so much fat, so much salt. It's fantastic. But like, you can hardly order a healthy meal and get a healthy meal. They make the food taste good. That's how they do it.
Woody, have you ever looked up where you'll be like, damn, I want to make Mongolian beef, but I want to make it the way P.F. Chang's does. And then you look up the way they do it, and it's like, yeah, it's like normal Mongolian beef, but secret, full stick of butter, 3 times the amount of oil. And it's like, oh, this is, I didn't want to learn this.
Put some sugar on it too and serve it. Yeah. Like,
and you just taste sugar on top of your fat meat and then go, oh, it's lean.
Like restaurant food is terrible for you and delicious.
It's so good. That's why restaurants stay in business. They're
not worried at all about your health. They just want you to come back and ignore the truth. So Subway bread's not bread, too much sugar.
Yeah, Subway bread is not bread.
According to Ireland.
That's true. I haven't trusted the Irish.
Touche. Yeah.
That's where I get all my bread news.
From Ireland. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. What the fuck? Where do they get off? What do they know about bread? They make.
Is there a lawsuit about bread? Like that someone is suing because they didn't get the ingredients on their sandwich?
Let me scan it.
I don't think they want Subway to be able to call their sandwiches anymore because technically the bread on them isn't bread.
Oh. Okay. I got to call them stacks. We got Subway stacks of produce and meat and products.
So I guess they're trying to categorize it as a staple food, which doesn't get taxed.
Oh.
But because it's more like junk food, you have to pay 10% tax.
And probably some sort of like welfare card doesn't work for it as well.
The sugar content in Irish bread isn't supposed to be more than 2%. I don't know how it could be more than 2% sugar, and it's 10%. So
well, they're not even close.
Sugar.
That's 5 times the maximum amount of sugar.
And in fairness to Ireland, Subway's bread is fucking terrible. It is awful. I don't care when they do the song and dance about like, wow, we're pulling this out of the just baked oven. It's like, go fuck yourself. You have a neck tattoo. Like, there's no way you baked that fresh.
It smells good.
There's no way you showed up early like an artisan baker and made this 9-grain wheat.
What franchise would you want to own? Subway's often considered a good one.
I would say Subway because people go to Subway to
Subways are literally on the decline. They're closing more and more stores every day.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because they have more locations than Starbucks.
And there's not as much markup. I think Five Guys are always growing. I think that place that you and I always talk about, Cookout, their franchises are rather cheap. And whenever they like add one to a place, it just explodes. And they've got these lines literally around the block with attendants in the parking lot directing traffic.
It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a plug and play franchise to make money and be off doing your own thing, Subway would be excellent. If you're looking for I am going to be on the site most of the time, making sure this runs well, somewhere like Cookout, or we have barbecue places like that here too.
Why do you feel like Cookout takes more personal attention than Subway?
Because there's a higher standard of quality. Like when people go to Subway,
I've seen enough Jim Gaffigan bits to know that there's not a lot going on at Subway.
I'm just saying that everywhere you go that's fast food and successful has an established standard of quality. When you go to McDonald's, you know exactly the flavor of beef you're going to get, and you get that flavor every time. And a lot of what building a successful fast food franchise is having supreme consistency. You don't want one location to be terrible, one location to be awesome. Subway has every location bad in the same way.
Waffle House too.
Waffle House too. And so you go in there and you pay.
We're not friends anymore.
you pay a few dollars for a sandwich the size of your head, and when you're eating it and you go, "This isn't very good," you go, "No shit. I paid $5 for a sandwich the size of my torso."
You really don't like Waffle House?
I do like Waffle House. I just feel like the standard is low. That it meets my expectations every time. I'll order steak and eggs. That's just the worst steak ever, just like I expected.
Yeah, I've never enjoyed Waffle House sober.
If you're ordering steak at Waffle House, they are they sell more T-bones than any other restaurant in the world, as is noted on that picture that every one of them has on the wall. They're awful. The eggs there are actually really good, though. I like their eggs as much as I like.
Probably put sugar in them.
You can see what they're doing to them right there, because Elon is over there fucking mixing it up 6 feet away from you, splattering you with oil. There's a ton of oil in there, and then there's just fucking eggs.
I read somewhere that the cooks at Waffle House have better violence de-escalation skills than the police. I was like, maybe.
Steak and Shake too.
Steak and Shake is pretty fucking good. They got so many fucking milkshakes at that place. Yeah, we've got them in Atlanta. They're very popular. But yeah, Waffle House is maybe Waffle House would be the way to go, because they're open 24 hours a day. You can just staff them with ex-convicts.
You know
you can do that with McDonald's too, and you don't have to be scared.
There's a lot of moving parts in a McDonald's. There's a lot of menu items. There's a lot of stuff going on back there. A lot of computers and shit. Waffle House is just that one grill and that waffle maker. That's it.
And you think you would run a successful Waffle House? I
don't think there's an unsuccessful Waffle House in the fucking world.
As long as you love it.
Sounds right.
That's absurd.
Shut up, Dick. We're making money here.
I want to get into, you guys are obsessed with money.
Passion.
I want to get into Chick-fil-A and be very, very homophobic all the time to get people into my
restaurant. As long as you love it, then you'll be okay. But yeah, Chick-fil-A sucks to own. What was I going to say? You know what sucks to own that I was into? I used to want to own a movie theater. Like, that was the dream. A good movie theater, with the nice chairs and like a restaurant movie theater. I would be totally broke right now if I dumped everything into a movie theater. That was the worst idea.
Take a look at this idea.
I remember that.
It's the first 2015 1 hour photo stand.
Yeah, maybe. You talked about this like maybe 4 or 5 years ago or something, I think. And I remember I was probably like, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Get after it. You're selling that popcorn at such a markup. You can't lose money.
You can't lose. Yeah, I had this. I don't really like the movie theaters that are from 10 years ago, where everyone's jammed into shitty seats that don't recline. But there's a movie theater I go to where it's a big leather, like Lazy Boy with electric recline and stuff. And I was like, "Ooh, you could do that," or even Next Level, where the food gets good. Is it Alamo that does that?
Alamo does that.
Draft House.
Yeah, I think you're right. And I started looking into what it costs to make one and such, and just decided not to. I don't know. I didn't want to put all my eggs in one basket because it's pretty expensive.
God.
Right. Oh my gosh. I'd be so broke. But
do you like those theaters where it's like a full meal comes out? Because we have some here that I've been to, and it's so annoying for me to try to eat in the dark, like cutting chicken, and it really takes me out of the movie.
Like actual food. See, there's your mistake. I've gone to those places. Just order hand food.
Yeah.
If you're cutting chicken in the middle of a movie, that's absurd, and you're a dick for doing it. You're scratching the plate, guaranteed.
I haven't been to one as nice as an Alamo. What we have is is in between, so you can get like chicken fingers, like Taylor's talking about, maybe even a burger or a hot dog.
You just get a burger. That's
you can't get something that involves a fork and a knife there. But they do have seats that I haven't been to Alamo, but I have to imagine these seats compare well because they're big, leather, wide. You take the middle up, you can cuddle your wife while you watch the movie.
Dude, I ordered popcorn shrimp at one of those places at an AMC once, and I swear to God, in the kitchen, they were like, we ran out of shrimp, and they're like, just deep fry balls of everything we coat the shrimp in, and they just served me that because there was not a bit of shrimp in that. Just breading.
You got hush puppies with tails.
Yeah, I got hush puppies with old tails cemented in. It's funny. There's no meat. It's just
This is like a year ago, but I went to Panda Express and I had never had coconut shrimp before. And it was like, coconut shrimp, you can have it, but it's an extra $1. And I'm like, ooh, it must be good. Dude, it's seafood candy. I'm convincing myself this is a reasonable dinner to just eat like shrimp coated with glazed sugar. Coconut shrimp is the bomb.
I do the same thing. When I go to Panda Express, every time I'm like, I'll get the beef with broccoli, and then my voice comes out, double serving orange chicken. And then I'm eating it, I'm like, no, it's at least it's definitely got vitamin C, right? There's an orange in here somewhere.
There were no oranges killed in the making of that chicken.
Yeah. No, the fact that I have to shit just right now. So there were no oranges in there.
Dude.
Oh man. I do like, as far as fast food is concerned, I rank Panda Express decently high.
What?
Like their fried rice is so greasy and so oily that I like it.
Disgusting.
You know,
You think it's disgusting?
God, yeah, it's awful. It's so
Yeah.
far at the bottom of my list.
I
really? Okay, what?
It's
Tell me
way
something
below
else that's
Arby's and Hardee's and
It's
Burger
below
King.
Arby's, you fucking idiot. Arby's?
I don't feel that strongly about any fast food restaurant. I'm
Arby's
being
is
Kyle, you
100% honest.
scum of the earth.
Arby's
How
is
dare you
horrific.
put it below Arby's?
Arby's, lots of people talking about Arby's. It's for retards and the indigent.
I'm talking about roast beef, you piece of shit.
Oh, I like Arby's. I'm a fucking retard.
Yes.
Uh,
No, Arby's is terrible. They
haven't
literally
given Arby's a chance in
emulsify
like
all
20
of their
years.
meat, put it in a bag, and then they slice it as though it's real the first time.
It's true. It comes in
Terrible.
a bag. The meat
It's-
comes in a bag. It's in
yeah.
a big congealed, goopy glob.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not real. They have the slider machine like they're slicing it, but they're slicing emulsified meat logs. They're
Yeah,
not.
It's like a
slicing
hot dog. It's like they make a gigantic hot dog and then they cut it into like roast beef slices.
and
It's
that's
not.
better than Panda Express.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes,
I'm
that's
with you, Taylor.
This isn't about how good Arby's is, Taylor. This is about how bad Panda Express
You need to have
is.
the coconut shrimp at Panda Express. It's pretty much
I'll
soft serve
pass.
shrimp or something. It's great.
It's
I haven't had
not
Chinese food in a long time.
I haven't had this in a year and a half, but I'm hungering for it right now.
Yeah, another.
I'm good
another
for one
that gets
McDonald's
like that.
binge a month. Like we'll
McDonald's
go
is
get
always
drunk
just-
and then
I-
do like an Uber drive-through where it's everything on the menu, like 2 filet of fish, a double quarter pounder, 2 Big Macs, probably 6 fries. I mean, just fill up a bag and you count it off. Tell me how many there were.
Just go bananas.
McDonald's always disappoints me, and so I'd stop going. And it's not like I hate McDonald's. I just keep having a bad McDonald's experience where like it's cold or not fully done or it's falling apart, and I keep getting misses.
Yeah, when I
That's
go to
the worst.
McDonald's and like you get the cheese that's not even vaguely melted,
Cold French
which is
fries.
common. It's cold cheese, cold French fries. One of the places that I know is going to let me down every time and that I still crave, usually once a year, once my memory has lapsed enough that I forget, is White Castle. Is once a year I will eat 35 White Castle burgers and at the time be like, this is so great. This is awesome. It tastes like shit. It's good though, in a way. I'm eating all this cabbage. And then the next day you shit. And
And
the
for
next
all of-
day, that's very generous. 40 minutes later, you shit. And it smells exactly like you're right back inside White Castle.
We gotta get
People
some
will
like
talk
fiber and some probiotics in your diet, Taylor. Every time we talk about food, you're like, and then you just immediately have diarrhea. Like, every time you
You guys ever had an apple and a banana? Oh, just fucking blows right through. They're talking about like healthy stuff and these kale shakes, motherfucker.
Taylor, that's not what
Loosen
cheese
it up.
does to you.
Yeah, Kyle, you go out tonight and you eat 10 White Castle burgers, and then
What's
see
with
the
your
amount of time
numbers?
between you stop eating them and when
Taylor-
you start shitting.
Taylor once told me that he had a weakness for cheese sticks, right? This is like the string cheese, and he had 7. And I mentioned it to my wife, and she's still like, 7? How can you have 7? 7's a lot of cheese.
7, and I know it was that because like my girlfriend goes to bed earlier than me because she has to be up earlier, and so like I'll go and enjoy my evening sitting in my living room, and my snacks as I eat them throughout the night, the wrappers will accumulate on. And there was, and I know it was 7 because she came home one day after work and was like, "Hey, did you have 7 cheese sticks last night?" And I was like, "No, it couldn't have been that many." And she's like, "Well, I found 7 wrappers and I bought a pack of 12 and there's 5 left." And I was like, "Well,
Must have been a
How do you
mistake
know it
in
was
the
me?
store, huh?
You have no evidence of any of this. This is all circumstantial. I can't be convicted. Got into them.
I actually like White Castle. In the South, we have Crystal. It's a lot more common. It's exact same shit, but it's pretty good. I like it.
Yeah,
I made homemade Crystal burgers one time. You take the ground beef and like flatten it on a griddle, and you punch like you cut it, you pre-cut it into the squares. You like score the ground beef, and you press it till it's like super thin, like 1/8 of an inch, and then you put like 5 dots on each patty, and you freeze it, and you've got like this frozen sheet of ground beef that you then lay on top of onions on like a big griddle, and you cook it on top.
It's actually onion flavored cabbage.
It's I use onions, and you cook that block of beef on top of the onions, and the onion steam like goes through the holes that you put into the meat. It's really fucking good.
Do you know that's why Crystal and White Castle give you such bad and immediate gas? Is because they found out a few decades ago that if you replace onions with onion flavored cabbage, you save an enormous amount of money, and people can't tell the difference.
And people can't tell.
It's onion flavored cabbage on White Castle burgers. That's why you eat that, and immediately you're just like, this is dire.
I never had.
They unleashed a farting
I don't think I've
epidemic.
ever had White Castle.
These tiny little burgers, like they're literally like this big. Like
the grease stains on either side of the burger combine to about 3 times the total girth of the burger itself.
Yeah, I'm aware of how their burgers are small for some reason, but I have never been inside of White Castle.
It's a depressing place.
You know what's overrated? InNOut. I don't know why the West Coast guys
Woody,
think
don't
InNOut.
you dare say that.
Everyone on the West Coast
dare.
thinks InNOut is some wonderful dining experience, and it's just shitty food.
You unsufficient, you ignorant slut, Woody.
What, you don't like your fries sloppy and wet?
No, you have to get them extra well done. There's a whole process. You've got to learn it. That's
so
part of it. It's like
and then you douse them.
Douse them in what? What are you dousing them?
I don't know. Whatever that cheese sauce is that they pour over everything.
Oh yeah, man. You got to get animal style everything. You got to get extra crispy. It's like you can trace your whole life through what you learned ordering it InNOut. I was here when I learned about animal style. I was here when I learned that you could just stack an infinite number of patties next to each other until it filled.
It's where they just pour sauce all over everything.
Yeah. Protein style. What is it? Where there's no buns? Don't you dare! Everything's fresh at InNOut. The line is a mile long.
La-di-da. I've been eating that rotten meat they have over at Mickey D's, but they've got the fresh stuff.
You guys are eating out of a bag. It's disgusting. You're eating roast beef and coconut shrimp
Dick,
out of a ladle.
I think we have the same mic, but I like your shock mount much more. What is it?
That's a Rode something. I don't know. It's $100.
The mic or the shock mount?
Oh, the shock mount. Yeah.
Oh, this thing?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just picked that up off Amazon. You don't like that yours looks like a claw machine?
Right. I just feel like
cool.
It blocks more of me than it needs to. Like more of the whole scene. Like it's a freaking dominant like piece of what you see.
Yeah.
Anyway, good luck.
Machine. No, I've had InNOut twice, and I wasn't blown away or anything. It was okay.
Yeah.
You got to have it 20 times. That's when it really kicks in.
Yeah.
I don't think anything beats Five Guys.
Animals. No one leaves Five Guys hungry.
No, those French fries are so fucking good, and they're like just a regular cheeseburger is more than enough food for a human being, but for some reason they do double cheeseburgers instead as well. I
avoid Five Guys because I think it's way more calories than other meals.
Oh, it's so bad for you. The calories, like a large fry, is like 1,400 calories.
You don't need a large. You can hardly finish a small.
No one needs a large.
Nobody needs a large at Five Guys. If you're watching this and you've never been to Five Guys, that's amazing in itself. But
all right, both of you, listen up.
A small fry there is enough fries. Like you could empty out a human skull and fill it with French fries. This is how Fahrenheit was invented. I think you just randomly like this is
human skulls of fries.
Yeah, like we use feet. I mean, fuck, why not skulls?
Sure.
So yeah, that's about right. You could fill a human skull with a small fry at Five Guys. It's all you need to eat.
The large fry is literally, let's take like a 20-ounce cup and fill it heaping full of French fries, and then they just pour more over. They put the 20-ounce cup over the bag, and then just heap them on it as it overfills into the bag. The bottom of the bag has like a McDonald's small fry of fries in it.
At least
Five Guys.
yes.
Yeah.
The worst fries in America, and they think they can hide it from you if they give you a lot of them.
Are you getting the curly fries?
No, I'm getting the regular fries when I go there.
Rook,
Get the
noob.
Cajun fries.
I'm just saying the regular fries, I've never opted into a special kind of fries there.
They have
But
sweet
they get
potato fries.
soggy. They are soggy immediately. They are wet and floppy and not good fries. And they try and distract you.
I like wet floppy fries.
Wow, look at all this shit I have. Now I won't talk about how bad they are.
The curly fries, I think maybe the nature of them, they get cooked longer. Not sure. But I share your dislike of wet sloppy fries. They need to be hot.
I prefer wet sloppy fries. I
like them overcooked.
Yeah, definitely. I prefer a nice crispy fry.
No.
That's why curly fries are always better. That's the best thing that Jack in the Box has over the rest, or the curly fry.
Arby's also has the curly fry, which I do like, but I like them when they're a little bit on the soft side. They cook them in peanut oil. They're not trying to cheap out on you. That's just their idea of a good fry.
No, that's for their meat.
No, they don't.
Oh, you're talking about
meat
Five Guys right now. Sorry.
Yeah, they're not frying the
But
meat.
you're talking about Chick-fil-A.
I thought he was saying Arby's was spending all their money cooking good curly fries and being like, no, keep the beef budget. Like,
I'm still on Five Guys fries. They use the peanut oil there.
Yeah.
That's why.
Doesn't Chick-fil-A use it on their fries?
Chick-fil-A also uses peanut oil. Yes.
You know what? I'm not.
Actually,
I'm not
they
a huge
use this
Chick-fil-A
denatured
fry.
peanut oil that's actually safe for people who have peanut allergies.
I don't care for that. I want the risky stuff.
Well, you know.
Yeah.
I want to know that only the genetically pure among us can consume these fries.
Are the genetically impure
Those
allergic to
with
peanuts?
inferior genes may not enjoy the fry.
That's the Proud Boy way. Only peanut oil.
They're like, so you're white supremacists. We are not so much concerned with race as much as what you cook the fry in and eating the fry. It's like, so white supremacists, once again, you're bringing up some. This is a club about French fries. And how they are cooked. Well, once again, you ask me of President Trump. I am a French fry connoisseur.
Gourmet.
That's what I'm a sommelier.